What's up guys, James White Dragon here, and today we're here with a disembodied voice also known as Ethan. Hello Ethan.
Hello.
And today we are looking at your deck, so tell us about this deck that's on everyone's screens right now.
This is my Dragma Invoked deck. I will call it Dragma, I will not call it Dogmatica, because that's a bad name, and you can't make Dragma Ball jokes about it.
Oh.
But yeah, this is my deck. I picked up Dragma on release for obscene amounts of money, because I've been playing the game for about 3 years. This is the first time I've shelled out money for a deck, because I was playtesting this online when it first came out in the OCG, and it was just absolutely brilliant. And then I got lots of money, so I decided to
Buy it.
buy it. Yeah, basically.
Okay, well, I guess we all know what the Red Eyes and Dark Magician are in here for. So can you explain, obviously, the 3 Nibiru, a lot of decks are running this as a staple now. So, but why do you run it? Why not side deck it?
I like Nib in main. My thing at the moment is you need a hand trap that does a lot. Like hand traps that just Ash for me doesn't do enough. It seems to be mandatory now for combo decks to be able to play through an Ash. Like you don't play a deck if it can't play through at least one Ash. Whereas Nibiru is harder to play through. So I feel like I don't even side Ash. I don't think it's good enough. I'd only run it for a fire target for Purgatrio, but that's what we have Almirage for. So
fair enough. Okay,
yeah, that's why I run the Nib.
Okay, now we're moving on to this bad boy. So who is Dragma Knight?
So this is Fleur. She is a special summon if you control an extra deck monster. And if you control another Dragma monster, you can negate a face-up monster on the field, non-targeting.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
So she's really good for bait the Dragoon's negate, and then summon and negate Goon's F. So it goes back down to 3k. And you can destroy it, so then you can just go after it.
That's really nice.
Also, if she's on board, when a Dragma monster declares an attack, her effect can activate to make them all gain 500 attack permanently. So she can actually crash with Goons after negating it. So plus another Dragma monster on board outs Goons.
Maximus Dragma.
One of Max. I've seen people cutting it. I've seen people siding it. I've seen people running more than one. I think one is enough because I've got the talents. I don't play Desires, so I don't need more than one. People forget that Nadir, the search spell, can actually add from grave as well. So even if it gets outed and I want it back, I can nab it from there. Okay. But it's mainly to make Winder.
This is Dragma Saped. So tell us a little about
three Ecclese. Ecclese is most of the time is what you search off Nadir. It's if you control an extra deck monster, you can special summon it, and then it searches you for any Dragma cards. You can search Fleur, you can search Max, or you can search the trap. So it's just your all-round searcher.
That's pretty. I can tell why it's a 3 of then. And you are running the Invoked engine. I see 3 Alistair here. Why the Invoke variant?
Invoked for me is just it's pure advantage. Like Alistair gets you Meltdown, gets you Alistair gets you Invocation, Invocation gets you the Alistair back, and Terraforming can get you the Meltdown, and the whole deck is just it's compact, it fits. You can fit hand traps enough other cards, and I mean it's just really strong. Alistair itself will always, if your opponent has a hand trap, normal summon Alistair will get hit with an Imperm or a Veiler or a Gamma or something like that. So if you have the Invocation, it's the perfect bait every time.
Here's a question for you. What do you think of the new Maximum Gold alternate art of Alistair and Evoker? Are you a fan or not?
I love it. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Like I'm running original supers at the moment because I don't really like the secrets. Plus the supers just look really crisp and clean.
Oh, they do.
But those golds, man, they have me some kind of way. I really like it.
Okay, we're on to the Effect Veiler. So why Effect Veiler and not other hand traps?
I was playing Gamma, but that was before I was playing the Goons. I was playing Gamma and Ogre in place of the Goons targets and the Souls. But I just needed space, so I took out Gamma because it takes out 4 spaces. I like Veiler because it's not once per turn, so it's if you draw 2 Ash, it's a bit dead, right? If you draw 2 Effect Veiler, you can still use both.
Okay, very cool. And why Magician Souls?
Everyone well, every most builds I've seen that are playing goons for this deck are playing souls, just because you can normal summon Alistair, add your invocation, special summon souls, pitch draw if that's what you want to do, then link into Verte, then make Mechaba with the invocation, and then make goons with the Vert. So you end on Mechaba goons. So it's
That's
basically souls is just a free special summon extenders to go into Vert with, really.
that's really nice. That's really really nice. Okay, and what do you usually send with your souls? What's your
I
best target?
uh, I send a fleur most of the time because you can. But sometimes I send the max, like in mirror matches and stuff where I'm not going to be using the max to send to. I'll dump the max because fleur's better. But whichever one I dump anyway, as I said, Nadir can add from grave, so it doesn't really matter what I dump.
That's really nice. Okay, well on to Discipline of Nadira. Nadia?
Nadir, yeah. So this is
Nadir.
the
No.
so this is the search card, and the whole card in itself is busted. Send a card from extra deck to grave. Add a Dragma monster from your deck to your hand with attack equal to or less than the sent monster. So
Oh wow.
anything you send with 2/5 or more attack will instantly get you any of the main deck monsters because Max is
Okay.
1/5, Ecclesias is 1/5, and
Yeah.
Fleur is 2/5.
Okay, that's broken. That is actually broken. I see why that's at three. Okay,
Yes,
we
so
want to
do I.
we all know why Red Eyes Fusion's in there, but why have you gone for this? Some people are running this at three. Some people are side decking it. Why three tactical talents?
Talents is just way too good not to run, in my opinion. Like I'm not playing Desires because goons and everything like that.
Hmm.
I banish the targets and stuff. So, um, I think talents for the draw two is well. That's why I'm running it because I can't afford to play Desires. So I'm not.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Are you not afraid of the risks of three tactical talents? Like, it being a dead draw. A lot of people complain about it. If you don't get like negated or they hand trap you, it's a bit of a dead draw.
I
Or
mean, if they don't hand trap me, I'm going off anyway. So I don't really mind having it in hand.
right,
But
okay.
then if the amount of times I've gone normal summon Alistair, they've gone effect Veiler, and I've been able to go, talents draw two and then draw the invocation anyway. It's like, well,
Okay, terraforming at one. I mean
yeah,
that's
just a search meltdown, more copies
mhm,
of Alistair.
yeah. Why two invocation? Why not three? Why not one?
Well, I do like to see it in my opening hand because then if you do normal Alistair and it does get negated and you already have it, you feel powerful as all hell because they've wasted a hand trap and you still get to make your Mechaba.
Yep.
Um, but I don't feel like I need three because I'm not playing Desires.
Right.
And sometimes if you see invocation without Alistair, it's dead. Like
Hmm.
it's a dead card unless you have souls to pitch it. It's dead. So I don't want to see two in my hand. But the amount of times where it comes up and I have two in my hand and I have no access to Alistair, it is just dead. Like
Right.
so, I only run two to minimize that risk. And also, Meltdown searches Alistair, Alistair searches Invo, so I've got enough ways to get to it.
Of course. Okay. Now your three magical meltdown.
This is just standard
Hmm.
search Alistair. As I said, Alistair searches Invocation. That's your combo. Like
Hmm.
any one of those, like it can be. So you've got three Alistair and three Meltdown and one Terraforming starts the invoked half of your combo. Then you've got technically three Nadir, three Ecclesias, and a Max that can start that side of your combo. So there's a lot of starters, which
I
is nice.
see. That's really nice. And I see you've got the three imperm. Beautiful.
It's just too good, and it doesn't trigger talents, which is nice.
Hmm.
So
That is really beautiful. I mean, I'm still trying to find my three. Changing subject. On to Dragon Prison of Snow and Ice. There's two of these. Why two?
this card is busted. Like it's absolutely amazing. Honestly, you see it, and it's just one of those things you can set, and it nets you so much. Like you play. I was playing against Burning Abyss, and they're going through their normal combos, and they summon Seer out of the deck, and I Ice Dragon's Prison. I take the Graph from the grave. I banish the Graph on my field and the Seer on their field. They're out of
Oh,
Seer and Graph because this was when they were at one, and it puts them in a very dire spot. Like just grabbing the amount of times I've gone activate Invocation and they've gone activate Ice Dragon's banish your Alistair, and it's like, well, rip.
R.I.P.
So it's really really painful. and it's just a good card. People underestimated it when it came out of the set. I remember getting a play set for a Utopia double, and now they're like what, anywhere from 15 to 20 quid a copy. Like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
you've got Dragma Punishment.
This is one of my favorite cards, and also the bane of my existence with this deck. Right. So the card will lock you out of your extra deck until your next turn. So if you activate it on your opponent's turn, you get no extra deck on your turn when it comes back to you. So it can hinder your invoked end there, which is really annoying. But the payoff is just too good. Send a monster from your extra deck to grave, target a monster your opponent controls, destroy that monster. And all you have to do is send a monster with attack equal to or less than the targeted monster. So
Right.
I dump one of the copies of Entis that I run, which is 2/5. So I pop something with 2/5, and then Entis says when it's sent to grave, I can pop a card my opponent controls. So it essentially becomes a pop 2.
That's really, really nice. That's really nice. Okay, and your last, you have Shadol card, the Shadol continuous card. Why
Yes,
why
so
this? What's this for?
this is to make Winder, because decks find it hard to outwinder.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, it's really nice. It's Nadir can get you into it. Max can get you into it, or you can just hard draw it. But you send Shadol App Cologne from the extra deck to grave with Nadir or Max, and it says when this card is sent to grave, add a Shadol card from your deck to your hand, then discard one card. So you can add the combo where you keep all your advantages. You add Rook and then you discard it, and then Maximus will send Construct, and Construct will add it back. So then you have your one Dark monster in the form of App Cologne and your one Shadol monster in the form of Construct to banish me.
That's really nice. That's really, really nice. Okay, so that is your whole main deck. Let's have a look at your extra deck, starting with the fusions. You've got the big boy, Mechaba. So
Mechaba is just too good. 2/5 attack, and it does the negati, which is obviously why you play it. But he big, he negates.
Yeah, he good. And then, do we really need to know why you have Dragoon?
I feel really bad for playing it. Every time I summon it, I feel very sorry for my opponent. But you've got to play it. It's too good.
It's too good. It's too good. Do you think they're gonna ban? It like they did in the OCG?
I feel like something needs to happen. I don't want them to hit Verte because I feel it gives a lot of help to fusion decks, like stuff like Cyber Dragon, Invoked, Shadows. It helps out a lot. So I hope they don't hit Vert. And Red Ice Fusion is, well, apart from Dragoon, is the best card Red Ice has ever pumped out for itself. So
yeah, so
I feel like if they do hit anything, they have to hit it. But I'd prefer them to. Well, I don't know. I personally. I'm a Red Ice player, so I prefer them to hit Verte, so you can still make goons in pure Red Ice decks.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't see it happening. But
the thing is, though, it's I was looking a lot at this, and it hasn't warped the format as much as everyone says it would have. Like, obviously,
OCG is completely different to here, and that's what some people don't realize.
I mean, they have 3 Max C, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to be running slower decks anyway to so Dragoon really hurts slower decks, but in huge combo decks, it really doesn't hurt as much.
It doesn't, right? If they're just ending on goons, it doesn't really hurt that much.
No,
it's the fact that they can go through their full combo and then invert and as well. You've got your Dragon Link board where you've got your Seal and your Appaloosa and your Savage, and then they just go and a goons, and it's like, ugh.
Okay, El Shaddol Construct. I mean, you've already kind of explained why that's here. But
it's really just a dump, but it is also fun to make it with Rook because its second effect says whatever you summon, you can send a monster of that type from field to grave. So if you make the Windy, you can actually send their goons because it doesn't target, so that's another out. But if you make the construct, I've used it to send Golden Lords before just to out that because they're quite big and annoying, and their traps rely on having one on board. So make the construct, send it is actually quite nice.
Excellent. Okay, so we've got.
So we just call him Ash Dragon. That's what he's called now in. What's he? I've got it here. Titaniclad the Ash Dragon is what he's called in the TG. But you don't make him. I've never made him in my life. I probably never will.
Okay.
His effect is during the end phase, if this card was sent to grave, you can add one Dragma monster from your deck to your hand, or special summon one Dragma monster from your deck. So you just dump him. So the combo is you go Nadir to add Ecclese, special Ecclese, add the Max. Do the combo with Max to get your Shadow Trap. But Max says send two. So you send the Construct to add the Shadow Trap back, and you send Ash Dragon, because during the end phase, you get to add Fleur, which is the special summon negate a monster.
And then we've got this invoked card. Don't think I recognise this one.
Olgoides. Now he came out recently. He has saved my life more times than I care to mention. When he is summoned or a monster is special summoned, you can destroy. Is it one monster or is it one card? You can destroy a thing. But his
target opponent's monster controls. Yeah,
monster.
Target monster destroy it.
Yeah. But it's his other effect are used for beating over the big things.
Okay, and then we got the classic invoked card.
Yeah. See, Purgatory. I'm thinking about cutting it as we get new sets. There's a new Link one that you can make with Alistair that is just a light target, so you don't have to run the Almirage into Secure Gardener anymore. But there's a small part of me that wants to keep it just because it gives you that monster engraved to banish to summon Maximus, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of cutting Purgatrio in favor for Olgoides. It's just I make Olgoides more if I want to OTK. That's what I go for. So I don't really make it that much. But it comes up every now and then, so I guess I'll keep it in for now.
Of course. Then you have the El Shaddol.
Cologne. He's just you just dump him to add the trap. That's it. He's not there for any other purpose.
Mm-hmm. And we know what Winder's there
and
for.
And then Winder is there to be made. Yeah.
Beautiful Winder. I remember
Winder wins games.
I remember when it first came out back in the early Pendulum days, and it broke the game.
It's not a fair card. It's a fair card in Shadow, but it's not a fair card if you can just slam it into any deck.
Yeah, it's just it's broken. I mean, I was running Dark Worlds when it first released, so I was way behind everyone else, and I'd just
it's just the can't be destroyed by card effect thing, like. And you have to destroy it by battle, but if I have an Alistair in hand, that thing's 3,200 attack. That's not easy to be over with only being able to special summon once, whilst being backed up by a Mechaba and a Fleur and maybe a trap or two. Like that's not fair.
Yeah, and then we got Elder Eternity. I mean, this one.
This is just a dump.
Yeah.
Because when it's sent to grave, it pops a card. So if you dump it off Max, you can pop a card. If you dump it off Nadir, so if you're going second, activate Nadir. If they have no response, you Entis pop something and search for your Ecclese to special summon. So
okay. Then we got the Verte. We know what that's for. That's for Dragoon.
Yeah.
Do you ever use it for any other thing, or like
no, because I don't run any other fusion spells, so it's kind of hard. I was thinking of playing Super Poly, because if I take out a few bits, you can run Super Poly targets. Main deck 3 Super Poly, go second, because you have Chimera Rafflesia, which is a Predaplant fusion monster. It says if this card is in the grave during the standby phase, search your deck for a polymerization card. So because you can dump it from the extra deck, you can actually search for your Super Poly. And then I suppose I could use Vert to turn something dark, but at the moment he's just to make goons.
No, that makes sense. Okay, and then we got your Secure Gardener, which you kind of discussed on, but just re-go over it if you can.
So normal summon Alistair, add your invocation, link Alistair into Almirage, link Almirage into Secure Gardener, and then activate your invocation. Secure Gardener is your light, and you've got your Alistair to make a Mechaba. So Alistair becomes a 1-card Mechaba on his own. So you don't have to waste other resources like getting rid of a hand trap or something like that to be able to make your.
Well, I'd like to brag. I have a French Secure Gardener.
Ooh, very nice.
Very pretty. That I got while I was in France. Very nice. And then Link Karibo and Almirage, we know what those are for.
Yeah, Link Karibo is just for souls, really.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to leave a souls on the board, and at least Link Karibo does something.
Okay, we've done that. And now onto your side deck. You're running 3 Lance, I can see.
Yeah, the side deck's rather, samey. It's just the deck itself, I'm running exactly what I want to go first. Really, like this is my perfect going first list. So I only really want going second cards.
Mm-hmm.
So Lancia for dinos, because no.
Yeah.
Pancratops mainly mainly for back row decks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a really good out to stuff like defense position herald and stuff like that. You know, special summon, go into attack and stuff. So it's
Of
really nice
course.
there.
You got your two
Droll
drolls.
because yeah, decks add a lot. I'd play 3, but I don't know what to cut. Like I really like the side deck at the moment. So
Right.
especially for when I was playing at locals, this was absolutely perfect.
Oh
So,
yes. And then you got your two cosmics. I mean, back row decks. That kind of sums up.
yeah,
Why no
pretty
Harpy's Feather
standard.
Duster? If you don't mind me asking.
Because I don't own one.
Ah. They're really
Uh,
cheap at the moment. They're like £8 for the from the gold sets. You know, get them while they're
yeah,
cheap. I say.
yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to get one out the gold set, and then that would go in there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, yeah, I just didn't have one, so this was
Yeah.
the list I was just
What
playing. So it's
Out of curiosity, what would you cut from this side deck to put in a Harpies? If you were to cut, would you cut like one evenly or one?
no, I'd probably take both. I'd probably take both cyclones out, and play the third droll, and
Right.
then the feather duster.
Okay, and then you three. We know what Dark Rule is for. I mean, you know, combo dragon.
Yep.
Poor Dragon Link. You know, that's all I can say there. Did you catch Connor's video where he made a dragoon, then did his loop to get past Dark Ruler to summon a second dragoon, and then he got second dragoon. Got second Dark Ruler. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
It's
Because
quite
he wouldn't
funny.
shut up about it. It was absolutely hilarious.
It's quite funny. And then you got your three evenly matched. I mean, you know, go straight to battle phase. You know, get rid of their entire field is very nice.
Yeah,
And then your red reboot for traps. I mean, it's
yeah.
a really nice deck to be honest.
Altergeist hurts, so
Yes,
that's why I
Altergeist.
play the reboot.
I mean,
And the evenly, to be honest. Like
yeah,
realistically, most combo decks, you know, they've got 3/4 negates unless you open evenly Dark Ruler and you haven't been hand ripped.
hmm
That evenly is not resolving. You're just using it as bait. So
oh,
it
yeah.
is mainly there for Altergeist.
Do you think that red reboot was wrongfully put down to one, or do you think it deserved and it was hurting trap decks too much?
I mean, you're speaking to someone who has never really played a trap deck besides Paleo.
Yeah.
So I loved the card at 3, if I'm being honest.
I don't think it should have been cut down personally. I think that was a really big mistake.
I see why, because you know there was then trap decks had to deal with three evenly, 3 cyclone, twin twisters, and 3 reboot. It's just too much to warrant playing. I mean, traps are bad anyway,
Yeah.
so it was just a little too much to warrant then playing a trap deck, knowing that you were going in and realistically every deck that could OTK was playing 3 reboot and 3 evenly.
Well, thank you very much for going through this with us, even. And we're going to press test hand. Here we go. want to see more of Ethan's fantastic deck profiles, you can tune in a couple of days, a week's time, or a couple of days' time, whatever it is. I post the next Ethan video, and we can have a bit of fun there. Until next time, it's goodbye from James and goodbye from him.
Bye.
Bye, guys.